Cheers, folks, and welcome to my channel. Today, I have prepared the new Alliance War node review. I have been playing in offense on path 7. And I will show you not the first section, but the second section where basically the node, or one node has been changed, just to show also how that affects the opponent and also how to fight against. So the first thing is that on these new nodes, you will see the opponent's champion. So in this case, a 6-star duplicate cable. The new part of these nodes is especially the buffet node, which means that anytime I trigger a buff, there's a health regeneration happening on the opponent, and also that the buffs last 40% longer, which for Cable of course means that he heals longer or he generates power longer, which is only a problem at the beginning of the fight because I fought with Void, and with Void the longer the fight takes and the more Petrify buffs you inflict on the opponent, the less he heals and the less he regenerates power. So actually this node, I'd say with a cable, and at least it was a 6-star duplicate cable, not that much of a problem. Now in the beginning he still generates power with that buff, but you will see later on when he has like those 2 petrified debuffs and when there's like Fear of Void on him, he stops generating any more power and he stops also regenerating health. So actually you can kill him just by dashing backwards and activating the dexterity buff, the precision buff that comes with dexterity. And every time he loses health when you do that without even hitting him. So what you see, it takes a bit of patience because all you have to do is inflict special attack 1, use special attack 1 to give him another debuff than the one you give him anyways after, I think 10 seconds it is. There's an automatic debuff on him. And here you see, I mean, this is now with Fear of the Void and a Petrified debuff. There is no more regeneration. And even though, it might get to a stage where time looks like it could potentially get critical, don't worry. Like, if you have a Void and you play these kind of regeneration nodes, his damage is so much amplified the longer the fight is taking. And you see, like, in 30 seconds, you take him down from 50% health to 0. So that was not so much of an issue. That new node, I think it is also that Void, if you have Void, Void is the best champ against this kind of node that has regeneration abilities. So I'm actually thinking of ranking 5 my Void next. He's still rank 4, but I hope I can rank 5 him soon. Then 4-star tech on the node 38, which we all know by now is the Ironman Infinity War node. And I pulled from the 4th of July office, I pulled Corvus Glaive. He is rank 3, not duped, but I thought I'd give it a good try. And it was my first fight against this node on Ironman Infinity War with a Corvus Glaive. And then this happened. At the moment, the servers are lagging a lot again, but okay. Then it started, and it's still. I have to say, before the fight video is over, the fight pretty much threw me off. But you still see he's inflicting so much damage, and when I entered that fight, I had 3 persistent charges. Because I was fighting a mutant champion before, and I was also fighting Iron Man before, which Iron Man, like when you knock out a tech champ and when you knock out an Avenger, you get a persistent charge for each of them. So actually by fighting him once, I got a full persistent charge. And each of those persistent charges does that I get 3000 additional critical hit rating. And that's what in the end killed Ironman Infinity War. So it was not the best fight, but Corvus Glaive is a beast against Ironman Infinity War, especially on that node, because any armor up that he gets on that node, you just parry and he basically loses all the armor up and turn it into armor breaks. So if you run past 7, Void and Corvus Glaive are almost more important than, like in the past it was always Blade, 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 Blade. Corvus Glaive and Void kill those nodes. Then the next node was also again a healing champion with Arc Overload. So they get healing every, I think, 20 seconds it was. And increased healing abilities, which again with Void you just turn it around and you turn it into a degeneration instead of a healing. And Phoenix, honestly, I was celebrating when I was seeing Phoenix because 5-star Cosmic, that could be a King Groot who is a bit nasty on this node. Or it could also be a Hyperion who also can be a little bit nasty on that node, because I mean, as I said, it takes a while until you get enough Petrify buffs on your opponent with Void, and until then, you know, it could always happen that Hyperion gets to a special attack 3 and kills you. But no, it was Phoenix, so that actually was really, really easy. Just, you know, try to get her to her special attack 2. If she manages to, or if she fires off her special attack 1, okay, but that's also really, really easy to evade. And, you know, just try to get as many Petrify or debuffs on her as possible, because then she will not regenerate at all once she is at 0% health, which is right here. She does not regenerate at all, and then the debuffs kill her. So, again, I really love playing with Void on this path. And the last node which I took in that round was the mini boss, and it's another node that hasn't been changed. So the only changed node that you saw on this path was actually the first node, that was that cable with the buffet and the increased healing regeneration abilities. So that is the new node, and I think he also got like 300% health. So a lot more health. 150,000 I think life he had when I fought him. But again, with Void, not that much of a problem. And also here, the mini boss, also a Ironman Infinity War. To be fair, non-dupe. Non-dupe, so that means that he's not activating auto block when he's below 15% health. That was making it, of course, a little bit easier. But still, with Void, all you do is you wait until he fires off, or he wants to fire off his heavy, and then counter with your heavy, or counter with a combo, as you want. What is also good is if you take him, or take a 4 combo, and then parry him right after that, because then he's using a light attack usually to start in the fight, and then what happens is the light attack is something that you actually can parry and you can stun him then. And yeah, just evade his specials, and it's the same as also with the other champs. After a while, the debuffs will just kill him. And I'd say even if he had been a dupe, what you would have done, or what I would have done then, when he got below 15% health, is only attack him with heavy attacks. So all you do is you evade his specials, you wait until he is trying to activate a heavy attack, and you counter him with your heavy attacks, or you hit into his block and then parry him right away, because then he starts attacking with a light attack, which you can parry, and then again only use heavy attacks, and the rest, the debuffs that you inflict are doing. The debuffs will kill him in those last 15% over time. Good is, of course, if your opponent has activated willpower. So for each debuff, they regenerate part of what they lose, because again, also with the petrify debuffs, that willpower regeneration will be turned into a degeneration, so it's actually amplifying the damage that the opponent anyways gets throughout the debuffs. And you see, towards the end, it actually goes pretty fast. Like now he has 2 petrify debuffs, and now he's just really starting to lose very quickly and just continue Fear of the Void and put another debuff on him, and he's just ticking down, and you can slowly actually just watch him die. That's the nice thing with Void. You can just sit back and relax and just watch your opponents die. So, yeah, that's about, I mean, the new node, as I said, was the first node, what I showed you, but also maybe some inspiration for you who have that, who go on path 7, how to fight and which champs to bring in your offense against your opponents. And I wish you all the best, good luck, and rock the next Alliance War season. Cheers, folks.